So we're going to have to, I'm going to clap, and that's when we're starting, okay?
How about we just go right into it?
Producer.
Yeah.
It's just we're showing authenticity. Right.
So we did this before, and we kind of got into an argument about how we should start this, and then Jake said, oh, I can't hear anything on my headphones. And that was kind of my point. That's why we need to have a start point, because it sounds unprofessional. We're in now.
All right.
We're officially started. That was easy?
Yeah, that was very easy.
I don't need to clap, but I will.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll matter. All right. So
we're writing out right now.
So Dames, that's the name.
Yep.
You remember years
BB.
ago? Yeah.
Goose.
Remember years ago when I called you Damien?
Well, you did that. It's a pretty good story.
So let me back up.
And I still have a little bit of resentment towards that.
I know, but what's crazy, we don't want to, nothing's local today, right? It's all, if I have my audience, just so you guys know. Because I mean,
international.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've never been on a real podcast.
This is as real as it gets.
Right. So since you haven't, follow my lead, right?
Absolutely.
Let's not talk about things people. And first of all, Goose, you flew here all the way from Texas, so I'm not going
to come
just to be here.
Just to be here.
Right. So I'm not going to disrespect your time.
That's why we have the ball field up there.
Well,
it's Minute Maid Park, ladies and gentlemen.
Which
Houston Astros.
Do they? So, my point. I owe you an apology.
Okay.
Because I did not realize that calling you Damien was actually the devil in some movie or something.
And quite a few.
Have you heard of that? I never knew that. I promise you, I never knew that.
Well,
I'm that dense.
And your reach is so wide now. Thousands of people.
They're going to start calling. Well, they had, and I'll tell you. And I know.
Ben did it. So
what it was is,
right.
of course, kidding around. It was during one of the jamborees that we hosted.
Yeah.
And we had, back then, and we can go into many rabbit holes about why we're not quite as busy as we once were. But back then we had 40 to 50 just baseball teams, as what you can remember. And then softball, we had 20 to 25 softball teams. So it was a huge, huge, huge city event with, I think it's fair to say, a couple thousand people would attend.
So people that don't know.
People don't know. So who didn't exactly know me, Ben, of course, he was always the MC. And he just looked at me. I remember you gave me the wink. And then you're like, ladies and gentlemen, Damien Messina.
Yeah. So people who don't know that you're actually America's recreation director. Dallas Cowboys are America's team, right? Yeah. Right? Are you?
Yeah. It's recreation.
So you have to own that.
Damien.
Yeah, Damien. And then from the next thing you know, I have a lot of people.
Recreation.
Hey Goose, let me ask you a question. I've known you for a little while. Didn't you have a sleeve?
Never.
You're lying.
No tats.
You're lying.
No tattoos.
I
wish.
You think you'd go through the pain of?
Oh, you didn't have a sleeve.
Nope. No sleeve.
Are you getting one?
No. Well, if I had the arms.
You do.
I look like a pillowcase or a.
You're sexy, dude. Seriously.
Well, in all seriousness, if I had a sleeve right now, I'd look like a sleeping bag, and I don't want that. But Goose, it would. You though, I thought you had a sleeve because we went out a couple times. You're telling me you never had a sleeve.
Nope.
All right, so then you were dressing up to go out, which is not cool.
Could have.
You were wearing a stocking sleeve.
Stocking sleeve with tattoos.
Sleeve. Yeah.
That could have been it. I've done a lot of things going out.
Yeah, he was in the fraternity. You know how they operate.
Were you a frat boy?
Yeah.
He was in charge.
I managed a fraternity after I left when I was working in High Springs.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you get paid to be.
Yeah.
And you get to stay there
for free. Yeah.
He used to, when I would go to games locally.
Yeah.
I would park. You would let me park over there.
Yeah.
We just did that last night.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We went to the basketball game last night.
Yeah. Once you're a part of a fraternity, it's always a brotherhood, right?
Yep. Forever.
And I'm asking because I wasn't a part of any fraternity.
Oh,
and if I was in a fraternity, they would have kicked. The only fraternity I was in a fantasy football league, and I was kicked out. If that counts. That hurt.
Yeah. Why?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because I had a team that was garbage. Donovan McNabb was my starting quarterback. I had him. It was a year he's killing it. It's probably his best year ever, right?
Okay.
But the rest of my team is absolute garbage. I think Terry Glenn or something for the Cowboys was my whatever. And so we're on this online thing chatting, right, with guys back and forth. Yeah, my team did awesome. We're doing trades and all that stuff. Well, I was so bad and I said a couple things that weren't nice not horrible, right? I'm not cussing or anything, but I'm like, guys, don't be a jerk to me because I will take my best players and I will give them. This is sort of before I think the general manager could really control how you did trades. And I'm like, I'm already not making the playoffs, so I will just give Donovan McNabb and my best players to this guy, so all you guys lose.
Oh, so he could win.
Yeah.
So the one guy, because all the other guys are talking trash.
Yeah, they were talking trash. So then they kicked me out of the league.
I would have done the same thing.
You kicked me out?
No, I would have kept you in.
Yeah.
Because we're buddies.
Well, we are, but you need people like me. So here's so here's what happens.
Would you have given? Let's say if I was the guy not talking trash, would you have given me those players?
Yes.
So
All
that's why
day.
I wouldn't
There
kick
it
you
is.
out.
You would have had Donovan McNabb.
But he was having a great year that
no.
year.
This is when
like
he's putting,
MVP.
I'm being serious.
Like Super Bowl.
He's putting up 40 to 50 points a game. Like those are the big ones. He's putting up huge points. But here's the deal. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden their league is dying. This is the kind of group that you go out to a restaurant, like, hey, we're going to Befo's or some sports bar. Buffalo Wild Wings. And by the way, Buffalo Wild Wings, if you're listening right now, if you want me to keep saying your name, then you need to pay for it.
Absolutely.
So you go out to a place and you basically do like a whole, like, what do you call it? A draft thing?
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Whole draft
So we did
party.
the whole draft. So it was a big draft party, and it's already on.
So was that like a Buffalo Wild Wings? I'm sorry.
This was Buffalo Wild Wings. If you're
Buffalo
listening
Wild
right
Wings,
now,
Once
so
again.
just for a second time, third time. My thing is, okay, we do it. I spent time here. I brought my buffalo chicken dip because this is actually at someone's house the first year. Then we went to a restaurant. You then kicked me out. Well, guess what?
Well, listen, you brought buffalo chicken dip. That's pretty cool.
It's something.
It's commitment.
That's what. So my thing is this: if you're gonna like kick me out of the league, that's fine. I'm not begging to get back in. I got other things I can do, like the million Yahoo Fantasy Football League invites I get, because everybody wants me to be a part of the leagues. Because I know what I'm doing. I know.
Absolutely.
I spend money and I lose.
you got
so
lucky
they know
with
it's easy.
McNabb, and then but you
So here's what
unfortunately you
happens.
were in last place.
The league starts to die, and a year later, like, hey man, we want to know if you want to be part of the league again.
So they kicked you out. You were in last place.
Invited you back.
I'm
You
being dead
gave a
serious.
guy who wasn't giving you a hard time your best players. And they kicked you
I
out.
threatened to, and they said you were talking too much trash on the leaderboard thing or whatever, or the message board. You're out. And then they're like begging for me back. I'm like, no.
Isn't that kind of part of it, talking trash when you do this?
It's
Yes.
the most important.
Yeah, so man, yeah,
I'm
you
very
probably needed
active
to get
in
out.
my group chat.
Are you?
Very active. Yeah, I just dished out a L meme this morning.
See?
And there's nothing wrong
Every
with
time
that.
I win, there's something coming.
Then it is, yeah. I mean,
That's
so
part
I
of
mean,
it.
these guys, I wouldn't want to play with these guys then.
We just have to be arrogant.
Yeah,
It's
right?
so
That's part of it.
I mean,
That's
my
what
team name
guys
is
do.
the greatest goat, and it could be the greatest of all time or the greatest goose
What was
of
your
all
What was
time.
your best? Yeah, what was your best
Where did-
team?
sorry, you're in charge.
No.
you got it. It's your show. Keep going.
Well, I was just gonna
You
ask.
got great questions.
All right, they're gonna give me junk for this. My league, if when they watch this, because they're following me all the time. They want to keep up with me.
Okay, that's good. Good
It
to
was
know.
back in.
So you're the goat.
I drafted Peyton Manning, the sheriff, and then I had Demaryius Thomas,
Oh,
and then in the last pick of the draft, I drafted Julius Thomas. That was the year Peyton Manning threw for like 58 touchdowns.
he was MVP.
Wow.
And then I also had Jamal Charles. So the one time the Broncos had a bad game, that was the year Jamal Charles had like 70 fantasy.
So you got lucky.
Yeah. Oh no, I get skill. I blew everybody out. I won every game.
Okay. This guy right here.
And now I'm a back in my day fantasy player. Like back when
Back in the day.
Back when I
Back in the day, you were the
back
man.
when I had Peyton, nobody could touch me.
So do you guys like win money?
Oh yeah.
Like how? I mean,
not me. I've actually.
well,
I've,
you got kicked out.
yeah, but then I played other ones and I've always lost.
Yeah. It's nice because you get paid out right before Christmas.
If you win,
If you win.
Well, I mean, how much?
When I win.
How much money?
Oh, it depends. This
Okay,
year we put in $100.
oh, how many people are in your league?
12.
And you pay all of it to the winner?
900 to the winner. Second place.
Okay,
gets like
second.
200.
That's nice.
Yeah,
though.
that ain't bad.
Yeah.
I've never really done it. I just don't have. I don't know. I get aggravated. Now I don't keep up with the NFL as much as perhaps I used to.
To be appropriate here, though, you said right before Christmas because that's what you celebrate. But for someone who doesn't celebrate,
Holiday
no,
season.
that's fine. You can say that because no, I don't have a problem with you saying
Before the
Christmas.
holidays.
But if you are, Jewish, you don't really care about that payout. You want the payout before your holiday,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
It's a good way of putting it.
Well, I
Maybe we
mean,
should change the NFL schedule. It needs to be more inclusive. And
I
equitable.
agree.
well,
I agree.
I would like to see how about a music artist for the halftime show that doesn't have tons of money. How about some guys like us that people actually want to watch?
Send them video from the World Series opening ceremony.
Yes,
We could do that. Or just the opening ceremony in general for the Super Bowl.
people are getting
Good point.
So I don't want to go.
very good point.
We can go down a bunch of rabbit holes here.
Yeah, we could.
But let's. Go,
I was about to go down one,
but
and it's been.
Can we go there?
No, it's your show.
I got one more animal I want to talk about, and that's Goose. How'd you become Goose?
All right. Name's Robert. Became Bobby.
I'm done. I got it now.
And that's it. And then it became Cheddar Bob. And then, it became
Bob,
Cheddar
yeah.
Bob.
No,
Cheddar
who
Bob.
said that? Who called it Cheddar Bob?
That's 8 Mile, right?
Yeah, friend of
Yeah,
mine.
from
8
8
Mile
Mile.
came out. It was Cheddar Bob. And
Is 8 Mile the movie you're talking about?
Yeah. In the movie, there was
And
a guy
there's
named
Green
Cheddar
Mile.
Bob.
Okay.
Yeah, the Green Mile. And then
Close.
out of nowhere, about 9th grade, get me out of my shell. I was shy. They started, Goose, my brother's friend Kyle, called me Goose, and then I went with it. I asked him a couple years ago why. He said, because it rhymes with loose.
So
Whatever works.
where are you from originally from?
West Palm Beach, South Florida.
Do you have friends back there? I'm assuming you do still. Mm-hmm. Do they realize like how big of a name you are around these parts?
Maybe.
Your
They
folks,
should.
Well, they should. Your folks in Texas now? Do they realize?
Yeah, they just moved. Yep.
Well, I mean, like the folks in Texas.
Oh
Like, the
yeah.
people. I'm sorry, I didn't mean your folks.
He's
but,
he's the assistant city manager now.
well, let's not say what town because you guys probably don't have enough staff to handle all the letters that'll come in of people
Correct.
wanting your autograph and
Yeah,
eBay stuff.
yeah.
I don't have time for that.
Here's the thing. The room that we're in right now, I try to keep very private because
Not many
You
people
wear-
have been in this.
no,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the headset you're wearing, for example, you wear that headset, people go, I want that, and they're going to try and put it on eBay.
Yeah.
And I don't need someone taking my equipment to put
Correct.
your stuff on eBay.
It's not sustainable.
No, it's not for me because I have to buy another headset.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so the second most Googled thing this week in Hong Kong. You want to take a stab at it?
It was in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
The second most
Googled thing.
in Hong Kong
Yes,
from people that lived in Hong Kong.
that's right. Well, I mean, I guess they live there, unless it's someone acting like they live there.
Goose, what do you think?
Will excessive use of screen time cause me to go blind?
See, that was an answer. At least you gave me one.
Yeah.
It is
Goose is quick.
It's about 7-Eleven,
Nice.
the gas station.
Yeah.
That's what,
They're about because they're going to doing a bunch of AI stuff, artificial intelligence in their stores.
Oh,
But how does that ever become the most Googled thing in a week?
but you said the second, right? Or was it the first?
second most,
What
you
was
corrected me.
the first?
I don't want to say it.
All right, you want to get deep?
Heath. 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 It's also the most Googled in Japan as well. And it's somebody I think that was like a band person that passed away. You got to remember something.
Heath Ledger?
No, that's America. A long time ago. This guy
but-
just passed away in October. And I guess he was some big star over there. So here's the issue.
Okay.
When I'm doing these searches that are random in the middle of the day when I need to be working, right? The things that pay the bills, Buffalo Wild Wings, you can help with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep. And if there's any other companies that you know that I can mention that will help, let me know. They translate it into their language, so I have to take that through Google Translate and try and get it to English. Mm-hmm. And some of that can be kind of difficult because when I do their articles, Google's not giving me it in English. Like AI, I had to translate it and then read why that's the number 2 Google thing.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Hey, you don't care.
AI could have generated that response because they have a connection with 7-Eleven, for all we know.
Yeah,
Possibly.
AI is going to change the world.
it definitely is. It definitely is. So
Pretty good or bad?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
It's
It
just
doesn't
gonna
matter.
happen.
Get on the train. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
So West Palm Beach, what part of Texas?
Just outside of Houston.
Oh,
Yeah, just outside of Houston.
Oh, I've got some roots over there.
Really?
They're friend roots. They're not people roots. They're like family roots.
Nice.
Katy, Texas.
Katie. Okay.
You near there?
20 minutes from me.
Yeah, you ever heard of what's that bar called? Big Moses? I think it's called Moses. I don't know.
Is it Moe's?
Moe's.
Yeah, Moe's.
Moe's.
Yeah, it's like an Irish.
Well, I don't know. It was It was 20 years ago. I was in high school, and my brother was doing
Yeah.
website stuff for Clint Black's brother, Brian Black, and we went out to Houston. I was a freshman in high school, and he was doing what was called a record label showcase in Houston, which means RCA, Warner Brothers, all these big companies were coming down to listen to him sing and going to offer him a contract. The thing about the bar, it's huge. So country dominates the stage, right? Country's the big stage in the middle, but then within the bar they have these other bars. It's like heavy metal, and over here is like rock music, and so it was really interesting. I couldn't be there because I was underage, but I was there to set up earlier in the day for it. It was pretty cool. So that was
That's
it.
awesome.
Texas is cool. I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd
I
throw
like
that
it.
out there.
I don't mind Texas.
Well, you're where you're located. Where is that parallel to Florida? Like St. Pete region or?
Northern.
Oh,
You
okay.
take I-10 straight across, really, coming a little down. So,
Yeah, that's right.
pretty comparable to Gainesville.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
to here. Yeah.
How big's the area you live, or?
So my population's a smaller city, but within a 15-minute drive, 4.5 million.
What?
Yeah.
So Houston's how far?
I have Houston to the north, east, and south of me. So.
So, and you're, of course, a big Astros fan.
Yeah.
Now, Texas Rangers just won. Where are they based out of?
Dallas. They're
Ooh.
our rival. Yep.
But Houston just fired their manager?
No, he retired. Dusty?
Oh, he retired.
Oh, Dusty
Yeah,
retired?
Dusty retired, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a big baseball guy.
You hide it well, though.
Well, you see that. You
Yeah.
can't see it. You see that jersey back there?
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah. Signed by Kirby Snead, current.
Kirby Snead.
Yeah.
Nice.
Playing with the Oakland Athletics. I got a lot of sports stuff in here. I'm more like
Brady Singer. We got
Didn't he just get inducted?
his jersey was retired
Yeah,
as
retired.
at his
Yeah,
high school.
over at Santa Fe.
Yeah. That's
right.
And if you didn't know, our good friend Ben here, you're now part of the Santa Fe High
right.
School
Hall of Fame.
I probably am a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
It took him a long time to do it, but I've been
25 years?
That's awesome.
Or 22, 23, what was it? Something around there.
Technically, it's 23 years, but they printed 25 on the plaque.
Hey,
Yeah,
credit
too.
earned.
Well, that's the thing. That's how I look at it. And
Time
so, for doing public address announcing and stuff on campus, helping them out.
Give yourself a little credit, buddy. Now, you were doing UF games. You were doing volleyball.
I did a lot of
I
University
went to
of
a
Florida.
volleyball game the other day.
You enjoy that?
I loved it. They played against Arkansas.
You know what I
Really
find?
good team,
Here-
Arkansas. And of course, University of Florida is great too.
I think those gigs, because I used to do a lot of public address announcing at the college level, and those gigs are cool when you're single
Yeah.
because they don't pay much. But
Yeah.
when you're not single, I told one person, I said, look, I don't mind coming to do the games, a game here and there, but I need the pay, and I need you to hook a boy up with some tickets.
Yep.
Sure.
For my wife and family, and a parking pass wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Because then I can justify spending 4 hours on your campus at night on a weeknight when I already have a full-time job.
Yeah.
But you do enjoy it.
Once you're in the moment, I can't say I enjoy it. I don't hate it, but once you've done it, so the different levels, high school's fun to me.
Yeah.
Because you call the shots. You don't.
So at UF,
So
there are a lot of
little-
guidelines.
Little backstory.
Yeah.
I started announcing Little League football games just in high school. I was in 8th grade, and my mom runs a 501c3 in South Florida, youth football.
Like the
I used
Pop
to
Warner
announce
League?
all the games
Really?
and keep all the stats for the junior division, and everyone loved my field because I had the music, everything.
And that started
I would play
you
the
on your
music and the
journey, right?
microphone and-
To do sports management.
Yeah, well, then in high school, they needed someone to host a pep rally the day of. And they said, Robert, you're going to host it.
Isn't that awesome?
And I said, what? Then I hosted them for 4 years. I had no idea what I was doing. They just
You
gave me a
enjoyed it,
microphone.
though,
I just
right?
like, let's go.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people
Overcoming that fear.
Oh, man.
It's amazing how many people are scared of the microphone in their hand, and I get it. I do. Some will say to
Comes
me,
natural to you.
that's what they say, but I got to tell you something. Every place that I have had the microphone in my hand, an event that I've done, initially I was nervous at to start, and I had to get past the nerves. And what happens if you mess up? I've got some friends because I was doing sponsor names, and I was like, we'd like to thank Pizza Hut. Well, I said Pita Hut.
Yeah.
And so to this day they go, Pita Hut.
Yeah. Or Damien.
Damien.
Yeah. So the rest of my life I have to live with that. But high
But
school.
you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty remarkable.
Well,
A lot of people won't do that,
no,
and the ones that give you a hard time, they're the ones that won't do it either.
and they're irrelevant, right? They're not relevant. So here's the deal. One of the things about announcing, so high school is sort of easy. You call the shots. You do what you need to do. They trust you. They also have nobody else to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you get to the college level, and JUCO. I helped out Santa Fe College several times.
Yeah, you
They were
did.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of know what you're doing. You kind of get going. And then you get to a place like the University of Florida, and it sort of is a different animal.
Well, expectations, right?
Well,
Scripted.
yeah. You have a whole script. There's some things they want you to kind of do, just your natural talents to come in. But, like when it says 5:04 on the clock, like that's when you read that part, especially baseball. Can't stand announcing baseball because it's very, and then when you have ESPN or some SEC, it's on TV. Anytime it's televised, it throws an entire wrench into the entire operation because now your script's off and you're just going, okay, Ben, now. And somebody's talking into your ear behind you. Or if you're in the arena, you ready for this one? Check this out. you're in the middle of calling the game, and we'll just use Damon Messina as an example. At the line, shooting 2 shots is Damon Messina. And as I'm saying those words, as I'm calling the game out, hey, Ben, make sure at the next break you go ahead and read that, and then the band's going to take over, okay? So 2 shots, copy. And you're like doing this in the middle of the game. You're listening to it and working with the marketing group, but
Can't even
it's
get
cool.
into a flow.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Can't
and
get
I,
into a flow.
no flow is a no-go.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the show.
Yep.
An announcer is very, very important. Anybody because it's like a DJ, right? I have a friend who does DJs at weddings, parties, and he's like, everybody wants to kind of skimp out on we can get a DJ really cheap. You get a cheap DJ, you lose your vibe.
Yep.
You might want to make sure your DJ is good
Yep.
because they'll keep it kind of going.
Yep.
So, anyhow.
So
Treasure party.
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of like you're having to simultaneously get everything out, and at the same time you have to listen and start
Yes.
preparing.
You're wearing a headset. And so for me, I never
I'd probably get aggravated.
did like
Jesus
full
Christ,
time.
I'd take these and throw them.
Turn it down.
I never did full time. Like, I'm going to be your announcer for this. I was
Someone like
asked-
producer Jake.
Yeah. You need a producer. You need somebody to help you, but when you've never done their sports and you want consistency. So, like, I remember years ago I did a women's NIT game. I don't know when to start announcing, Florida's girls coming onto the court or, their starting lineups. And so I'm asking questions. Hey, when do you actually start? When does that begin? They said when you look at the jumbotron and you see the eyes open, when the player opens her eyes and they're alligator eyes, start. Okay. Well, the lights are completely off in the arena. So when the lights go off, you're pulling out your phone and trying to hold it. Mm-hmm. If I was there all the time, I'd have had a little lamp or something, but you're holding your phone while trying to hold a button and announce.
Yeah.
And then you're waiting, and because they have to gator bait. Well, I don't think they say that anymore, do they? No. But whatever they do say.
They don't?
No. Remember that turned into a whole kind of woke thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
You missed that one?
Even
I
Major
did.
Ray was mad about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like me at council. My button is always broken, and I'm like, come on.
You think it's intentional?
Maybe.
What do you mean by council? Like at a meeting, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's my IT department just having fun with me.
That's not cool.
He's
I'm
good.
still
He's a
I'm
good
st-
guy.
I'm still like I didn't know that gator bait.
Okay, so you want to go there?
That's
I'll
all.
go there.
Well, I mean, I had no clue. I was wondering about that during the game.
Yeah.
I'm regurgitating what the story is, but basically a couple years ago, back when, but basically someone said there was an old article from many years ago that gator bait was, that little black kids were gator bait for gators. This is like an early 1900s article that I don't think has been truly verified, and that somehow is being tied to Florida using gator bait as being racist. However, Lawrence Wright, who is a black athlete, who actually is the one who started the whole gator bait thing back at the 1996 national championship. So when the Gators came home and celebrated, I was there as a 13-year-old. He's like, when I say a name, you say gator. I say the name, you say gator bait. So he'd say Florida State. The whole crowd goes gator bait. The whole thing. That's where it all started, and it continued, and it sort of grew into a chant and stuff. And then a couple of years, the go wokeness sort of killed it, and so UF killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's happening all across the country, but yeah.
I just remember being, I used to go to the games more often back in the day, and
Yeah.
just like one side would say gator, the other side would say bait.
What's the most incredible atmosphere you've ever been in sports? Doesn't matter where it's at.
Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah.
Time out. You were at Game 7 of the World Series?
Yeah.
This year or in the past?
No, it was when we lost to the Nationals. It was when Yuli Gurriel hit that home run. It was insane. I've never seen it. It was either that or when we did the blue out at UF against Alabama and we ran the kickback. I think it was Andre DeBose.
Oh, I love
What year
Andre.
was that?
Oof, 2011 maybe. But they were ranked number 1. It was a night game. There was like
You can't beat night
96,000
games.
people, and I ended up
yeah.
like 30 rows below where I started when they scored the touchdown. They were just picking people up, and just everybody was crowd surfing. It was insane.
Dan, what about you?
That's interesting. I've been to quite a few Gator games. Unfortunately, I don't really quite remember.
Been to some pro games too? Any big
Yeah,
pro
I went to
games?
the Buccaneer games, but there were the Bucks.
At the time,
back
they weren't
then.
very good, right?
They weren't good at all.
Well, the stadiums are so spacious too. So it's
Yeah,
not
they
as-
are the NFL stadiums, with the exception from what I hear, the Seattle Stadium.
But that roof was closed.
Is that a more spacious stadium too?
That's very compact, and that roof was closed, and it was
Hot.
they had people standing room only, and it was when he hit that home run, everybody was going insane.
But Houston won or lost?
We ended up losing in the ninth.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Hey, that was the year afterwards. Got in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Can I ask you how you got your tickets?
So funny story.
Legally?
I thought it was a scam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were at work the day of, and I was just looking because I was like, man, we have to go. Because backstory, my wife had never watched baseball, and then we met, and she watched the Astros. That was 2017. They won the whole thing. So I was like, you are the good luck charm, whatever. We moved to Houston. we moved to Houston. We went to like 10 games that year. She won every game she went to.
Wow.
So it was game 7. I said, we have to go to this game. Like, we're going to win if you go. So I'm looking online, and tickets were going for like $800, $900 a pop. And I saw 2 tickets, $419 behind home plate, going for like $130. And I was like, this is probably a scam. I'll cancel my credit card tomorrow. Bought them, told her, hey, we have to leave work. We're going to the game.
That is incredible.
And they worked. $130 a pop. I guess somebody must have been sick or something. They were like, oh, they might have been scared they weren't going to sell. But I was like, I'm not going to pass this up.
Sweet.
I didn't even really have permission to leave work early.
Who was your favorite Astro? Biggio, Bagwell?
Bagwell.
Jeff Bagwell?
Jeff Bagwell, yep.
Stud.
Yeah.
Guy was good. I love Biggio. I was a big Craig Biggio guy. You know, he came into the league as a catcher.
He stole my rookie card. When I went to summer camp, everybody brought in a card, sent him off to the players.
Yeah. He stole it?
Well, I mean, never made it back.
No.
Who?
No, tell us the story.
Everybody's got their card back except me. And they were talking Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Cal Ripken, and then me, Jeff Bagwell. Psh, everybody got it back. Never got my card back.
So who stole it then?
I blame the USPS. Or
I'm
Jeff
not.
Bagwell.
I want to know.
Could have been Jeff.
It might have been like,
Jeff.
he might have been like, man, it's a rookie card. Like,
Time out. That's not cool.
I know.
We're going to call it Jeff Bagwell right now.
Yeah, I would like to meet him. I mean, I did it at spring training. I was like, you got my rookie card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I go to spring.
Well, wait, the spring training's in. Spring training's
West
in because
Palm.
it used to be Kissimmee.
Yeah, but they moved right down the street from where I live.
I'm like, you notice I'm just behind on everything.
No, and there's a reason for that. We'll get into it later. So listen.
Could be plenty of reasons.
Yes, I got to keep going on this Jeff Bagwell deal. And I told you I'm not into baseball, but I do know these names because I grew up like in the 90s watching a lot of baseball.
Yeah.
And then slowly it sort of tapered off to like, I just watched the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then now it's like the World Series, and this year I was out. I did try to put it on because I love environment and enthusiasm, and clearly,
baseball was at the height. Like, it was really, really doing well.
Well, now they sped the games up. They sped the games.
It's
awesome.
bad?
No, I love it.
You like it?
No, it's
Because
good.
you can go on a weeknight now.
Well, that's why I liked softball so I did high school announcing softball, and they're like, well,
faster
baseball.
game.
Oh, I love it. And you're also sort of closer. The field's a little smaller, and there's a little
more intimate there.
interaction, I feel like. But clearly, baseball's America's favorite pastime, right? That's
Been
what they
through it
say.
all, at least with the, it was, baseball was, what was it? It was immaculate. When it happened, it was in Civil War. Yeah. Right around the Civil War. And supposedly it was at Cooperstown, but then you have Hoboken, New Jersey.
Yep.
They claim that they are the founders of baseball. But this is around the Civil War. And they're the first ones to do everything.
Yeah.
As far as like they're the first to pay players.
Right.
They're the first to build a stadium. They're the first to sell hot dogs. They're the first to, sell alcohol. I mean, and it just went through all the, the history from the Civil War on to current United States.
So why don't you correct me if I'm wrong, but I see baseball, because I want to take my daughters to baseball games, not all the time, but like go to them, have those experiences. I kind of see those as like opportunities to like hang out and eat some cool food and watch it, because I'm not saying it's not a fast-paced game, but because of that, it allows you to maybe socialize more in the stands, or are there people that are tuned in, like don't talk to them?
No, it's social. I think it's probably the best if you're going to have a corporate booth. That's a best networking event activity, because you can pay attention passively, have a conversation, hold a conversation.
I would go ahead, I'm sorry.
If you're like counting pitches or paying attention to pitches, then different.
And I do have friends, I've been in groups that have done that.
But it's a good social environment.
Especially spring training.
Yeah.
I would recommend taking the girls to spring training.
And it's more affordable. Like you said, nobody wants to spend 6 hours with their family.
No.
And spend $200.
Who wants to do that?
Yeah, so they shorten the game.
I got to pay for this?
Yeah, exactly. They shorten the game. They shorten the game. I don't know about the prices being affordable, but
Have you ever been to drag racing?
I have.
like the hot rod stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at the Gaines Gator Nationals.
Gator National.
Yes. Yeah.
What was it? Force.
John Force.
Yeah.
It's a big name.
Yeah, John Forrest. Yeah.
And
Let me
he's
tell
his
you,
daughters.
man, I saw him.
His daughters.
You
Dude,
know
what
what
a
I-
great man. That guy's got the nicest grill I've ever seen.
his teeth.
Oh my God.
I've seen it.
Those things
Great
are
smile.
oh
Yeah. You know what's interesting? You know what I'm gonna try and do?
some pearls.
I'm not even joking. I'm gonna try and do this. I'm gonna try to get him in the podcast.
You could. That's easy.
When they here, I'm talking about virtually. I'm talking about John Force. You sit right there
yeah.
and don't say a word, okay? Because we're gonna start
just
talking.
smile.
Yeah.
You know what the truth is? I've got some friends who sat in his fifth wheel when he was in town a few years ago.
His what?
His trailer, his
trailer.
RV.
Oh, is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
yeah. Well, whatever you want to call it. I mean, okay, you want to know the truth? It was probably some big rig semi truck that was decked out,
Like a moving condo.
for sure.
Yeah.
They said he was the coolest dude
Yeah.
ever. Just talking, saying all kinds of stuff. You know,
He was doing like a reality TV show for a while
Yeah.
too.
He's
wasn't
got
he?
stories too. So
got a lot of great stories. I think that's the thing. And he may have said, he may say some things that might get him in trouble now. But I think that's stupid. I think a lot of that. I think you do have to be careful. But like, I heard this guy call into this radio show this morning, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Jewish, and Happy Hanukkah, blah blah blah. But Merry Christmas too. Whatever you celebrate." And it's like, you know what? That's okay to leave it at that. It's okay that you do this and I do this, and we're all okay, and people don't get as offended as they do. But that's because of people like you, Damon, that started all that. You know,
yeah.
that quite frankly got to offend people. Oh,
Yeah.
you like the color blue? Well, everything's blue. Blue skies, blue cars.
Controversial.
Yeah, just let it go.
I just need drama.
yes.
Stir the pot.
Yeah, stir the pot. Well, that's really cool, the baseball stuff. So you go ahead. You were going to ask a question earlier, and I really was rude. Forgot it?
I forgot.
Okay, move it on.
Okay.
Christmas traditions. Any
Okay.
Christmas traditions that you guys have that you've done, things you look as a little kid that you remember? Take your time.
I mean, we used to build. My mom used to decorate like crazy. Like we were the house that you could see from the space.
Yeah.
You know, it was lights everywhere, bulbs perfectly up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Competition?
No, just weird dedication, I guess. We never. I mean, in my neighborhood now, we had a competition, and I was like, the Parks and Rec committee votes, and I was like, hey, I'm not telling anybody where I live, but I'm going to enter it secretly, and I won. So
That's awesome.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. No, but the first thing that popped in my head when you were talking about decorating your house, my dad yelling at me, helping him out, putting the lights on. I just remember he was just always, and then we would go through all this trouble putting the lights up, and then on January 2nd, I had to
They're down quick, aren't
I had
they?
to take them down.
Yeah.
And he would complain the following year because I didn't take them down properly.
Because you didn't put them up properly either and all that stuff or something.
Well, I just didn't take him down properly. That's just the way he was. And then he got so frustrated that we just kept him up all year.
yeah.
We did that a few times, but no, we were pretty competitive in the.
Well, that's what they're doing. The jellyfish lighting. There's another sponsor opportunity. They do year-round lights where it's just like professional-looking lights on your house, and you
Oh,
can
that's
change
cool.
the colors.
That
So,
is,
like,
my brother-in-law does.
like October.
is the company called Jellyfish or is it?
Yeah, Jellyfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jellyfish, have you heard that?
Yeah, if you heard
Here's
that.
your plug.
That's pretty smart. I'm gonna actually look
But
into
it's
that.
like October's orange, or fall's orange. Then you go into Christmas or holiday season, and then you go Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Mardi Gras,
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo, and then
Yeah, I'm game. I may have to
Memorial
look
Day,
into this.
July
Yeah, I'll
4th.
do that. Oh, another tradition. It's Thanksgiving though.
Okay.
And I thought everyone used to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We eat pasta after we eat Thanksgiving.
oh, that's just what Italians do, dude. Yeah, my wife, their family is Spanish Italian, and my family cannot cook, so we do Thanksgiving there, and there's just food 24/7.
So we eat
do
like
pasta.
midday, like early in the day. We eat the turkey and the mashed potatoes, the traditional Thanksgiving.
Can I make a podservation?
There you go.
So,
A potservation?
Yeah.
yeah, what I just noticed
Yeah.
is you were sharing a tradition that you thought was unique. Goose over here going, just because you're Italian, dude.
Yeah.
We all do that.
Yeah, man.
So it's sort of like, who cares?
True.
That's how I took it.
I didn't want to devalue your tradition, but
It's devalued.
I think he was just
you're not alone,
saying,
buddy.
Hey, no,
You're
yeah, I'm not alone.
He's not alone. He's not alone.
Okay.
I thought I was unique.
Yeah.
It's cool. I want to share this with you. So someone sends me this past weekend, a friend. Someone's making me do decorations this year. This is for Christmas, right? They're sending all kinds of stuff to me. tell your dad, game on.
There it is.
You're not serious.
You're going in, buddy.
There goes the
Going
neighborhood.
in, my dad already has a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, I will take everything from my house, and I will throw it at my dad's house, and I will go find a cherry picker. Actually, do you know?
That's really good marketing.
Yeah.
That's really good marketing.
What's part of good marketing?
The game on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's all you needed to hear is like, well, I'm in it.
There are, so I know
You did this during Scarecrow Row. Just saying.
That's true. Well, you're right, but here's the thing. I know you, and I know you. I know your kind of people, and you're competitive.
Oh, yeah.
We don't need anybody to talk trash.
Nope.
We're good. But when you do that, now it's over.
Yep.
It's game on.
And it's not even like, oh, I hope we win.
No.
It's over. So this is over. I will make sure my house is dark this year, so my dad has every light because he's going to have the most.
Well, Pops is going to come through, huh?
When I coached high school basketball, there was blood in the water. It's time to eat, right?
Yep.
You got your foot on their neck. It's time to end it.
Yep.
And that's sort of the deal. Like, you started it, we'll finish it, and you'll never send a text message like that again right before Thanksgiving.
We're not here to lose.
Start developing a
Right.
huge resentment.
No time for that.
And you're going to, this can really get out of control.
It can spiral. But
You're going to have to start getting a couple extra circuits. Definitely get some circuits.
yeah.
Well,
The crazy thing is, what's the movie where the lights blow the system? Clark.
Christmas
is it-
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, that was a great movie.
But those lights are beautiful, but they use a lot of power. Now you can put 50 LED strands, and depending on what you got, so you can get a lot more done. But
Clark Griswold.
yeah, well, my dad's always in the old neighborhood we grew up in. He was always doing light stuff, like gonna make the biggest light, whatever, and it's crazy. He threw them up in the trees real high. But now he's in another neighborhood, and he's in the past couple of years, the tradition's sort of gone down for him. He's like, I'll put up a few, and now when my brothers got involved, said, no, you're putting up some. So last year did really well. But now that this text came in, it's like, yeah, it's absolutely over.
It's good for the kids in the neighborhood, too.
They enjoy it. We came through, I got with my brothers, I think 9 years ago, and literally drove around the city with bells. Okay, here's the truth. I was dressed like Santa Claus because I was doing Santa Claus for someone's event. And my friends were like, well, since you have the costume, can you get back on the back of the truck and we'll just drive around, and time to go to bed, kid. So we had neighbors knew we were coming through, and they heard the bells, and it was like, hey, go to sleep so you be a good kid and get, something in the morning. So I had a great childhood growing up. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
And we had the whole bells outside the windows, and there's the sugar cookies. Don't touch them. Those are Santa's. So I thought it was really cool.
So
yeah, go ahead.
it's something popped in my head when
All right.
we were talking about Santa Claus. And like, kids, you got to go to bed. Santa's on his way. This happened, I was, 6, 7 years old. And my Uncle Mike, amazing guy. He passed away a few years back. Wonderful, wonderful man. But he showed up at the house when I was like 6 or 7, dressed up as Santa. And I had this fascination for Santa Claus. So when I he was trying to, his goal was to get like all the cousins. He would go from house to house to get them to go to bed.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, Santa's here, not Santa, but I hear him, this and that. And it was a terrible idea for our house because I chased him. Because I really wanted to tell him what I wanted.
Yeah.
Dude, my dad was chasing after me, and
Yeah.
it was just pretty chaotic. But yeah,
Did you catch them?
no, I didn't. Uncle Mike was pretty quick. I found out it was him, years later, and I remember I was like, dude, you were like flying, man.
Isn't it
He
cool
was
though?
zigzagging through the neighborhood.
Isn't it cool that
was
he
on
did that
Christmas
though?
Eve.
Like he did that for you, and to give you that.
Yeah.
I saw something
I
recently.
was a mess when I found out there was no such thing as Santa. I was a mess. I was depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you how old I was when I found out, but I'll tell you that.
I was 15.
Oh, yeah.
His parents were good.
Parents are real
They were
good.
good.
Parents are real good.
Showing up home, black eyes. What happened? Some moron says there's no such thing as Santa. Freshman.
Oh.
And I bought him. No. I don't know. I probably found out when I was. I did go a
can't
little
back up.
late.
You
I think
can't
it was a
back
little
up.
later than
You're late,
most because
brother.
I was just in denial.
I think that's magical though.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Gotta believe in
Okay. Let's
something.
just say if that was the case, that would be pretty much detrimental to
You
the
said
kid.
15.
I'm
staying with that.
You're gonna
You don't
stick
take
with that?
You
It was
stick
like-
with that. Oh, no.
No Santa. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get my license.
Let me tell you when I found out. I remember it. My sister must have been 3, so I'd have been 7 or 8.
Okay, probably around the same age as me.
It was kind of
When I found
stinky
out.
that it happened the way it happened, but I've always felt like I'm trying to be humble here, and that's very difficult for me. I know I'm a pretty smart dude. I'm not saying I'm like a scientist, engineer level. That hurts my brain, right? But I can pick up on stuff. And so I don't know why I got up. Maybe it was to steal Santa's sugar cookie on the table Christmas Eve. But I looked through my mom's door was cracked, lights were on, and I looked through there and I saw this little yellow red car thing that they have, the plastic cars that they make for little kids to sit in, like they're Fred Flintstone or something. Yeah, and it was for my sister. And so the next morning, look what Santa brought you. And I'm like, I know Santa didn't bring that. But, I'm not here to ruin it.
You didn't have the conversation? Like, apparently, all right, listen.
What's going on?
Listen,
here?
Ben. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
This is probably going to really, make life difficult for you right
No one
now.
had to tell me. No one had to
You
tell me.
just knew.
I knew. What was important to me
I had to have
wasn't
like
that
5
Santa
people tell me.
First off, it was magical. It was cool. I love it. I still love it. And I'm going to make sure my girls love it. But at that point in my life, what was most important to me is that my stocking was full of candy.
Candy.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Yeah, I didn't get candy.
You didn't get no candy in there?
No, maybe an Italian thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So
That's all I still
an
get.
orange. We had fruit. They put fruit, like an orange, couple oranges, nectarines.
that must be an Italian thing.
Yeah,
Maybe.
An Italian.
you're definitely alone on that one.
Yeah.
You're the only one getting fruit.
You're not going to throw me a layup on that one, man?
So,
Well, you?
so here's the thing that I saw a study or saw a fact the other day that said that kids, it's not until they're 8 years old they can tell the difference between real and fake
And
or
fake.
fake. So they fantasy and Disney and Anna, I guess it's real to them. Awana is real. So when I was younger, your imagination as a kid just wanders. And so my older brother Brian and Robert had told me, "Don't tell Mama, but I'm gonna tell you what you're getting for Christmas." I said, "Well, what is it? I can't wait to hear." And you know those electric 4-wheel drive cars or the little trucks?
Oh yeah.
They said, "You're getting a truck." I said, "That's not it though. That truck has a trailer on the back." And in that trailer, and I'm not making any of this up right now, guys. This is what I believed then. I still remember to this day, which shows you how much it harmed me. The truck has a trailer on the back, and in that trailer is going to be a TV and a Nintendo. And you can put it on autopilot on your truck, and your truck will drive around the yard while you sit in the trailer and play video games.
Man.
Complete lie. True story. And I believed every bit of it.
How old were you?
I probably was around that 7 to 10 range.
So if you get him in
I
Secret
wasn't 15.
Santa,
I wasn't 15,
you know what to do.
Yeah.
you know?
I'm going to work on this.
Secret Santa.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna sit down. We're gonna discuss this one when we leave the podcast.
You heard people talk about, well, Christmas or Santa Claus is really just was started by businesses or ways to do economic. But I don't care.
Yeah.
It's magical.
Yeah.
It's pretty and it's cool.
So what
That
happened?
could be his parade float.
I did not.
Yeah,
What could be?
That could be your parade float.
that's a great idea.
Truck.
That would be a good one.
Trailer.
The
Video games in the back.
Bakari Realty.
I could do that.
But
The
it
end
would be
result
tough.
is
It would be tough because you're gonna
do the announcing.
So
MC,
you have
right.
to find someone
I'll figure it out.
play Nintendo.
It was awesome. What my imagination imagined was awesome.
Yeah.
But then it didn't happen, and it's okay.
So what happened when you woke up and realized you don't have that?
I think what happens is that on a
Try to
serious,
fight your brothers.
I'm not going to fight them, but game is on now. Now I know
Game
it's
on.
okay to play games with each other and lie and do that kind of stuff. Not to a lot of others, but to brothers, I can make their life a little more difficult now.
Oh yeah.
So you
And it's
started
okay.
understanding the difference between reality and fantasy.
That's right. But the Tooth Fairy, I'll tell you, as a father of 2 young girls, it's really, really cool to do those moments. Like we're leaving in a few weeks to go to the mountains over Thanksgiving. And I've already told my daughter, okay, we're counting down. She said, I want to go to the mountains. And I'm like, all right, see these days. This is what day today is. And we got to go here, 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 here. And there's the mountain day. And
Yep.
try to get her excited about it.
Yep.
Because I was always excited about it growing up. It's
Yep.
really fun. So
If you
Just
think
pass it
about
along, man.
You only get so many trips to the mountains, so many tooth fairies, so many teeth. mindfulness, right?
That's it.
Gotta be mindful.
Hey, man.
I feel bad.
Take advantage.
Wait,
Do the powdered sugar and the boots on the.
I didn't think about that.
That's cool.
My dad did that. But it was bizarre because it was only one.
One boot?
It was one. It was just like one.
It was a right foot.
There was no right or left. I remember it was a right foot. Oh, that's interesting.
Why'd that happen?
Yeah.
When you said tooth fairy and all that stuff, it made me think of, and it's wrong because I've got some.
And I don't
East
recall the
Tennessee
old
kinfolk.
man really liking chocolate
Yeah.
chip cookies. I just think he liked those specific ones, but everyone was like chocolate chip. It would always like, and now
We
when
did
I think
sugar.
like today, now I'm starting to put it all together.
But those are such magical traditions and moments that you look back on and go, that was actually cool, and then appreciate the people who helped try to make those happen. Yeah. I don't know. I am a very appreciative person. I appreciate things others do. I appreciate you guys being here today.
Well, we
You guys-
appreciate you having us.
Well,
Awesome.
You fly here from Texas,
Yep.
Just to come here,
first class, by the way.
Yep.
So
Delta.
paid for by I know a man, or I know a guy.
yeah, and then you come in
I'm
here,
just along
and
for the ride, buddy.
take your weekend to come in here and sit down and talk a little bit instead of.
This is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. So
Well, we're buds.
the mountains are calling. That's a nice shirt
Yeah.
Wear this for you, man.
because I love the mountains.
I do.
Yeah.
We've been to Gatlinburg a couple times.
Yeah. How about this podcast table? You see all the stuff I'm adding? It's just
Tootsie
random.
Rolls,
It's just
nice.
random crap. You know what I mean?
Random
What is
Tootsie Roll. duck.
what's that right there? Is that a rock?
That rock came from Yellowstone National Park area. Well, let me take a step back. I purchased it actually in South Dakota from a rock place, but it originally was from Utah.
You could have done a little better than that. I mean,
For $5.
explaining it.
Yeah,
You
I'm
just
not
said I
good.
climbed up a.
Yeah.
Let's try it again.
So Ben, where'd you get that?
Well,
rock.
The light bulb there is actually even cooler.
It's what?
Cool. It's even a neater story. It's
the first light bulb.
The light bulb. Well, you're close. So Thomas Edison's great grandchild has an antique store in northern Massachusetts, and I was up there and
You stole it.
yes,
Yep.
Okay.
is that better?
Yeah, I like that.
See this right?
Oh, Elvis. I see Elvis.
There you go.
There's Marilyn Monroe.
She took that selfie.
And that's what's cool about this. People don't realize she's actually taking the selfie while looking in the mirror.
Yep.
Isn't that cool?
Yep.
It's pretty remarkable.
Well, I have different stuff in here from different places I visit.
Where'd you get these?
Target.
Target's not a sponsor. Dollar General is.
Dollar
Those came from Dollar General.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at this. What is that? A shell? I got
Shell.
that some place, probably a flea market. No, I got that from the beach, walking long nights on the beach, and I got that. But so I have collected stuff, and this is all true, right? I've collected stuff for so many years, and I have no place to put it, and I get to throw it in here.
Yeah.
Make it look kind of interesting. So.
Perfect environment for randoms.
I remember the Slinky last time I was here.
Yeah, I got rave reviews, by the way. People said you got to bring that goddamn back on, and I'm like, okay.
No.
He takes over the show. He takes over the entire show.
After listening to this, we're like,
Co-host.
I don't think so.
Co-host.
Yeah. Well, Goose, you coming here from Texas is really cool.
Yeah.
And I know that Texas is the home of. What is Texas the home of?
Barbecue and the rodeo.
Have you been to a rodeo?
Oh yeah, the Houston.
You like
Livestock.
it?
Oh, it's amazing. It's a great
You wear
time.
a bucket?
What's up?
You wear a
Cowboy
bucket?
hat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You throw the boots on?
So year one, I was like, all right, I'm not Texan. Year two, I got the boots. Year three, I told myself, well, I made 3 years. I'm getting a cowboy hat.
So now it's
I got it.
official.
Oh, yeah.
So now you are, what,
Wow.
what like, Floridians,
Yeah.
Texan?
Yeah. Texas forever.
So you're
Yeah.
official.
Yeah.
The rodeo is cool. That's a great.
But wait, you do have the boots too.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many pair of boots you
Yeah, I
have?
just one.
How many bucket hats or cowboy
Just one.
hats? Sorry.
Just one. Got one
You
look.
flannel?
Yeah, I got a couple flannels. That was from here when we used to go to Woodsers.
How about belt buckle?
No buckle.
Not yet.
Actually,
That's year
girl-
4?
Ironically, growing up, my grandma had horses.
Ah.
She had a couple horses, and we used to have belt buckles then, and cowboy hats then.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you.
We got to make a trip up there, Ben.
I'd love to. Does it get cold there or no?
Yeah, we got some freezes. We get some snow every once in a while. Like once
So you get it all too. You get hurricanes too there, don't you?
they do the rodeo in March, right around spring break, and it's really cool because you get a whole day. There's a fair, there's the rodeo, there's a livestock show, and then there's usually a cheap concert.
Oh, that's cool.
So wait, at the this is the
Brad
road.
Paisley was there last year, and we got tickets for like $27.
So the rodeo is like
So
a
Brad
one-stop.
Paisley, that's cool.
yeah,
It's a one-stop shop, kind of.
Yeah.
Like you have
All
good
day.
food, you
Oh,
have
yes.
concerts.
there's a cookout before it, but you got to know somebody to get there. you know a guy. You got to know somebody to get
Right.
there.
Oh, okay.
And that is like, if you get into a tent, it's all you can eat, all you can drink, and it's just concerts the first
Cool.
night.
Cool.
That is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rodeo's cool.
No, I've been saying I need to come and see you guys.
Well, then do it. I mean,
I know.
don't say it.
Yeah.
Do it. I
There you
mean,
go.
action. The best actions
There's action.
and not inaction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to be a mentor of yours. I'm not trying to give you ideas. But if you're going to be motivated to do something, you got to step up and do it.
I just got to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this isn't the Wild Wild West. If that's what you're trying to imply. Like you don't need to.
Not that Texas.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not Samity Sam or whatever his name is. Listen.
We have buildings and stuff.
Well, Damon
I'm
walks
gonna
in.
grow the stash.
Damon,
I'll take you to the
I'm gonna grow the
saloon.
stash.
he walks into
I'm
Texas.
gonna get
in the middle of the.
He's going to bring chaps.
Golly. Listen,
Yeah.
this is more modern Texas we're talking about here.
Oh, if I head over there, I'm gonna rock it out.
So
man.
now you went to University of Florida.
Yes.
Graduated there, correct?
Yep.
Is that the only university you graduated?
Yep.
So you're a Gator.
Absolutely. Through and through.
Okay, so next year SEC Florida goes to Texas next year in Austin.
Oh, I'll be there.
You will be there?
Oh, 100% be there.
I have
I'm
plans
actually
to be
gonna
there.
I'm gonna coordinate a bus from my house to Austin. We did that for Texas A&M, and it was great.
You have enough Gator fans in that area?
Yeah,
That's really
and
cool.
people flew in, stayed with us, and that was the night the Astros won the World Series. So we got back
Oh wow.
right at the first pitch. We watched the game, went downtown. It was
That's sweet.
man, it was a crazy.
Yeah,
night. It
that's
was
pretty cool.
So I have been to one. Well, this is very personal, but I'll share it with you guys. In 2000 and I don't remember the year, but I would know it if I looked it up because I know Steve Irwin. Remember the crocodile hunter?
Yeah.
He had passed away. It was that weekend that he died.
Oh, wow.
It was that weekend when everything's 04, 05 or something. I went to American Idol. I went and auditioned in Nashville,
Wow.
in Memphis, Tennessee. I didn't make it. Then we'll talk about it in another episode. Another pod.
Shame on them.
They missed out because I could bring something that they've never heard before. A twang, a deep, a tone. That's fine. So my point was they had Florida was playing. I forget who Florida was playing, but they had like this local Memphis Gator club, and they're meeting at this local barbecue place, and the entire thing was Texas Roadhouse, the entire room rented out, Gator stuff everywhere, and I just went in there and I just met some people that actually from Gainesville and everything, and I'm like, I'm just in town for America's, American Idol.
There's one in Houston.
You go to it ever?
Yeah, we go to it. And then one time we were in San Antonio, and we were looking for a place to watch the Gator game, so we just looked up San Antonio Gator Club and went there. And the whole bar, same situation.
How important is it to have a support group like that?
It's nice because when you're in, not many people outside of Florida like the Gators. So
Sure.
you can be on an island out there.
I was in Manhattan a few years back, New York City. There was a restaurant bar there. This is going back probably like a decade or so, but yeah, it was just
you
for
talking
the Florida. Yeah,
We're everywhere.
man. Yeah,
We're everywhere.
Yeah,
It's the Gator Nation. It's true, but that's what the Alumni Association tries to do. They have somebody
spread their wings.
And that's why they have
Representatives.
speakers go
Yeah.
to those events and try and speak and stuff. Yeah.
and spread that.
I felt like I was home. To
Yeah.
walk on the streets of Memphis, I was walking to Memphis,
Yeah.
10 feet off the ground,
Wow.
right? I mean,
That's
a great song.
it's a song. It's my story.
Yeah,
And
it's your story into a song.
someone must have wrote it, right? Or written it. Okay, we'll go there later. So, but I'm walking, here I am alone in Beale Street, right? I've got people asking me for money. I tell them I don't have cash. They're one step ahead. They say, I didn't ask you for cash. They said, can you get me some food?
Pull out a card reader.
I don't have money. Pretty much.
I take card.
Oh, you're homeless? Okay, well, here, do you take Apple Pay?
Yeah.
Whatever you got, I'll take it. And then all of a sudden you find a home to watch the Gators play and win and go, yes, we won. But it's kind of cool.
They travel well too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
say so.
the
I went
I tell you,
Fraternities
I
travel
went
there.
years back. I went to the Miami Hurricanes and Florida Gators. Miami won that year, and they travel.
Miami
traveled.
does?
Yeah, Miami traveled very. I mean,
Well, they don't travel to home
Yeah,
games.
not anymore. They can't even go now. They
Well,
can't even go to
this is
stadium.
the Butch.
back in the.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
Butch Davis?
Yeah, Butch Davis days.
And then you had Larry Coker, I think, when they won one or two.
They say Miami Hurricane
I
fans
think
have
it
the
could have been
best-
Larry Coker, but it was just right
VHS
after.
tapes.
Yeah,
Best VHS tapes. Miami Hurricane
You
fans.
nailed it.
That was
You nailed it. I went to a game. I went to the Clemson.
great 30 for 30.
Okay.
yeah.
Just thought I'd put that out there.
The U.
I went to a Clemson Miami game at Pro Player Stadium.
Oof.
You like that name, Pro Player? And it was empty. I was at a coaching clinic down there, and I was Stan Heath, I think, was the men's basketball coach of Miami. They did a good job. Great, clinic. But then the game kind of came with a ticket. You got to go to the game. It was horrible.
Yeah.
The crowd wasn't there. I'm like, where is everybody? And it wasn't even half full. It was less than half full.
But who would be the best traveling? Do you think it's just an SEC or is it like Notre Dame?
So I'll say this.
Penn State.
When I went to Florida-Utah game recently, they don't understand SEC football out there because
yeah, you did. You went to that.
Yeah, this lady says to me, she goes, "Hey, just so you know, it's about to get really loud in here." I look up and I'm like, "Okay."
So you were waiting the whole game.
I didn't say anything to her. I'm not going to talk trash on somebody else's stomping ground.
Well, what's the loudest
Southern
stadium
hospitality.
I've been to UT against Florida, but it was a day game. I think the loudest you're going to get has to be a night game.
Yep.
And the loudest for me was 1997 Tennessee at the Swamp.
Yep.
The TVs, the stands, you could literally see them shaking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. And it was deafening.
What's the seating capacity over at Swamp?
90-something thousand now, I think.
Yeah, there was 93 the other day.
What's the biggest?
It was sold out, so.
Penn State's up there. I think Penn State.
Yeah,
Penn State's
State.
And Neyland Stadium, Tennessee.
Neyland.
Knoxville's like, I thought it was close to 100.
109. Oh, I thought it was 109, I thought.
But they don't have that out there.
No.
Like when we were in Utah, not to be disrespectful, their end zone, where you can seat several thousand people all the way up the first section, they took one of their end zones. They've reserved it almost like club seats.
Yeah.
Like there's only 10 people per row in one section. I counted. There's only 500 people at most in the end zone against Utah. It wasn't like it was that loud.
What about Death Valley?
I
went to LSU when it was with Trask, and we had just moved to Houston. It was like, what is it, 49, 42, 42, 41, that game. And I give them credit. I was going to say we're playing LSU this week, but I give them credit. It was
I heard
it was pretty loud. It was night game, and
what about Tuscaloosa?
So I was there when LSU came to Florida. Where's that?
Did you go there? You ever went to Alabama?
I didn't make it to the game. No.
I've been through Auburn. I've been to a coaching clinic there, and I didn't go to a game, but that was really special because Roy Williams, Dean Smith.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How cool is that?
That is really cool.
And to watch that, watch them talk about basketball and how they coach UNC Tar Heels. And
that's a bucket list for me to go into that area. You got North Carolina State, you got North Carolina, the Tar Heels, and you got Duke. What are they, just all several miles apart?
Yeah.
Not far at all.
And you got Louisville, right? Yeah. They're part of that.
It's a pretty area, too.
So I'd like to kind of
Dean Smith
hit those games.
Wooden? Dean Smith worked with Coach Wooden, or
maybe he did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't surprise me.
That's one hell of a tree if that's the case.
Well, so let me talk about Clemson. I've been to a night game there. It was Duke. I was on the way through up north for Thanksgiving, and we were staying the night in Clemson for whatever reason. And there was a game, and I walk outside, and I was like looking for tickets, but I wasn't begging.
Yeah.
The guy's like, $30 a piece. I'm like, I'm not paying $30 a piece, but you've got tickets. I just want to go walk in the stadium. And ended up getting them for $10 each because nobody had bought them in the first quarter. And he's like, I'll give them for $10, I think. Here you go. So we go in, and the way they have it, really, really kind of, I won't say awkward, but just, we had upper level seats. You don't have access to lower level. You go into the stadium upper level, you come out of the stadium upper level.
Upper level, okay.
You don't get to go down below at all.
Wow.
And at halftime, people leave the stadium, go back out to the parking lot, come back in. And I actually do like Clemson because I like Dabo Swinney, but their noise for their cat when they do something, I'm being dead serious. They score a touchdown, it goes, rawr, rawr. I'm like, I'm not even joking. You can YouTube it. I'm like, that's it? That's all you got? It was horrible. Yeah. So, yeah.
Some tiny little. Well, they said the swamp is 3 feet below sea level, 4 feet below. It goes down, right? And that's why the sound emulates louder. That's the thing with these renovations. I really hope they don't take that away.
Oh,
that's true. And going back, the Gator games is from what I could remember. It was just amazing because how loud those games were. Yeah, like I've been to Tampa Bay Buccaneer games, playoffs. Nothing is compared to a Gator game, at least as far as me, for all the sporting events that I've gone to. A lot of baseball games. Been to Yankee Stadium, been to Wrigley, but nothing is comparable to the Gators.
That's why we were talking about the basketball game. They did the renovations look great. But they kind of took away the Rowdy Reptile section. We lose our home court advantage a little bit because there was, 400 over there? But when when I was there, the bleachers moved and there was
everyone was packed in like
there.
sardines.
They're standing only, and it was.
You see the bleachers move, you could hear it moving. Yeah,
really
it's intimidating.
And their players' heads. I mean, as a basketball player, you
Sure.
I mean, you thrive on offense, and when you're playing defense and it's loud like that, that just motivates you. Slap the floor, right?
Oh yeah, I've been to plenty of Gator games when the opposition when they couldn't they can't draw on offense and they can't hear, and the next thing you know, it's a delay of game.
It's timeout.
You feel like you're playing a part of that, and that happens often. I remember going to the Gator games. Yeah, nothing like it.
Still good. They did a good job, but I just wish it was. I liked it when it was crazy.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
You thought you were gonna fall.
So what Texas and Oklahoma are going to find out, which I think they do a pretty decent job with their stadium and stuff, but it's SEC is a little bit different. And it's like
now Texas A&M, right? They're involved.
A&M, Missouri. It's just so I don't know how angry you guys get if your team loses.
Pretty frustrated.
I had a friend tell me this past weekend that he punched his fence.
Well, I don't want to punch fences, but I'm pretty upset.
Well, you're older and more mature now, but as a kid, were you more upset? Like, what was your reaction?
Yeah, I used to get pretty wild.
I'll get mad because, like you said, losing isn't an option.
No,
I didn't come here to lose.
Yeah, when I was younger, it really, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was
so
a
what'd
huge
you do?
Mets fan.
Give me something. Did you ever like?
I don't know. It's just
when we were baseball players,
I would be upset. Like I got a good buddy of mine. I'm not going to mention his name. He's a very close friend of mine. And here, this is a good story. So now this is a fanatic. I'm going to tell you about a true fanatic. We were at Ferg's. You heard of Ferg's, the restaurant that's across the street where the Tampa Bay Rays play at.
Oh,
the
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Ferg's. So we were there before the game started. And for some, I don't know how, but we got these executive seats. And so, but what it is, if you get to the game like 2 hours in advance, the GM and his little crew, we're going to give us and a group of other people a tour around the complete Tropicana field. And we went to the field houses everywhere, and we met the maintenance guys. It was pretty cool. And then the GM goes, all right, well, this is our prize possession that we just purchased this year. And we go out to the center field, and that's where they have the for the aquarium for the stingrays. And there's like, ladies and gentlemen, this is our prize possession. We spent like, $2.5 million, right? And then we're all looking around like, wow, you see these stingrays? And then my buddy raises his hand, and he's a fanatic, and he's had a few in him. And he's like, how much did he say? I go, 2.5 million. And he's raising his hand like this. And then the GM's like, yes, sir, you have a question. He goes, $2.5 million. And we have no middle relief effing pitching. Yeah. And he went nuts. And then they had to escort him out. I mean, he went nuts.
Because he asked a question.
He was
held
upset.
him accountable.
Yeah, he held him accountable.
And you toned it down.
But the interesting thing is, I tried. But the thing is, middle relief pitching. That's what got me.
Yeah, that's of everything
it's like, middle relief pitching. Not like we need a good first baseman. Yeah. We need, a couple good starters. We don't need a good shortstop. We need good middle relief pitching. Well, anyway, that's just him.
Pitches, that's it.
So, but he's the type of guy where if the Gators are winning, both basketball and football, the Tampa Bay Bucks are doing okay, and the Tampa Bay Rays, he could live in a tent for the rest of his life as long as they're doing well.
Well, that's the thing is, you ever
That's
heard of
a true fanatic.
You ever heard of a rival fallacy? It's a lot of sports fans have it. It's on to the next. You don't enjoy the swing. It's the next goal. It's the next goal. It's the next. Oh, when I get a job, I'll be good. When I graduate college, I'll be good. When I have kids, I'll be good. When they get to high school, I'll be good. When I'm done with braces. Yeah. So you're never paying attention to the swing. And that was actually the most depressed I've been in my life was we won the World Series. And the next day, I was like, can we win next year?
Yeah.
And my buddy was like, you didn't even spend 24 hours basking in this greatness. So, and that's the thing is,
good point.
You got to pay attention to those wins and hold on to them for 7 days, or else you're like,
that's very true.
That's what Dabo Swinney just went off about with his team. Like it's them. Did you hear about that? The radio caller.
He said something. I heard it was.
The radio caller calls in and says, "Hey, I want to know," and the radio caller was like totally covering all the basis of like, I realize we've done this, but you're getting paid this much money per year and all this stuff, and this guy and Dabo goes off. He goes, the problem are fans like you. Because you don't realize before I got here, we hadn't sniffed 10 wins in 150 years. We've now had 5 10-win seasons, 2 national championships. You've forgotten what we've done. And I'm like, yeah, he's right. Like I'm thinking, like Urban Meyer. There people go, I hate Urban Meyer.
No,
For
man.
what? Dude got us 2 national championships. We were so relevant. I'd walk through the airport occasionally because I don't fly a whole lot. I walk through the airport and they've got Florida Gators on the Sports Illustrated cover, and I'm wearing a Gator shirt going, yeah, we're Florida. That was a great feeling, and he was, responsible for creating that at Florida.
That's what Dusty Baker said. He retired. He's the most winningest baseball
coach,
player,
or player, both. Mm-hmm.
But he said some of these fans. He's like, man, we just set a record for most ALCS appearances in MLB, and people are talking like we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, of course we want to win the World Series, but like, hey guys, like the economic impact, trillions of dollars now because it's 7 years in a row. Like, that's the thing. You get caught up in like, wait a minute.
Those expectations become too much.
They used to almost pay you to go to the Astros games.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
that's
please,
true.
we'll give you a hot dog.
That's
Come
true.
on in, man. Like, and now it's like, oh my God.
Now
like,
it's expected.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you.
But that's the way it is with Florida.
Yeah, and I've got.
But you guys both, because you guys are much
do have a
greater
high
fans
standard.
than,
I am a big fan of Florida.
Yeah, both of you guys are much more of a greater fan than I am.
I will tell you this. With Florida, as a kid, I didn't handle losing very well. I would cry, be in tears.
Well, I've watched a few games with you.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah. But listen, nothing, crazy, but you're dialed in. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
So when I was 14 years old, because it was 1997 when Florida, I think, lost to LSU and beat Tennessee and FSU, but lost to LSU and I think lost to Georgia. And my family was kind of doing this little thing outside cooking, had little pavers and under a little, tent, and we lost. And I'm like, I couldn't accept that we lost the game. So I started snapping branches on trees, walking around the neighborhood crying. Why did we lose? And I know it was like, okay, chill out. But no, it was very difficult. It wasn't until probably another couple of years maturing that I started to go, okay, it's okay. But even this past weekend, right, where Florida's lost 3 games and when to lose to Arkansas. I like my daughter sitting there and she doesn't understand why my tone's changing. And she's like, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. And like, if she had not been in my lap and if my wife wasn't home, I would have slammed my hand on the couch, like just really loud, just to do it one time, just to get it off my chest, like my system. But I didn't. She kept me calm. I was like, yeah, I went outside and started working and just did that.
She's your piece.
Well, yeah, but that's with Florida with 3 losses.
Yeah.
God, if we were undefeated.
Yeah.
It goes to another level of intensity. This means so much. Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, now we got a tough slate just to get a bowl game. So
yeah,
we got 3 pretty good teams: LSU, Florida State, and Missouri.
But I think
is that our last 3? Is that all we have left? 3 games.
3 ranked
Robert,
opponents, and we need to win 1 to get a bowl.
Good point. Like the economy here, the economy in Gainesville, they rely on, these businesses, these local merchants in Gainesville rely on,
people
they're kind of putting all they're always, it's like at the casino. I'm like all in every season, right?
Yeah.
Is that pretty much the way it is?
I think so.
When you win, people are going to spend more. They're going to stay out longer.
I do think you have to be careful in any program, whoever you are, that if you become the school that continues to hire, fire, get 2 years, you're out because people complain. If you can see progress, and with Florida, I can see my progress that I'm seeing at that recruiting class.
Yep.
And I also recognize that a lot of the players that are playing appear to be very, very young, and who are always young. Well, when you were in high school last year, not even at your senior prom this time of year, and you're playing against guys that have spent 24 out of the minimum, 36 or more months working out with conditioning coaches that are men. That's why Florida's getting pushed around. So I don't know.
The most freshman players starting in NCAA.
I wonder how we're going to look next year.
Yeah, exactly.
And
with
then you
the
got
good recruiting class.
Exactly. And then so I'm
It's
actually
promising.
Okay.
But the interesting thing is that now this is going to creep into high school, is the NIL.
I heard about that.
But this is because when we're discussing about the what is it that we do with the NFL teams? What is it when you get the teams? We were talking about it earlier.
Draft?
No, not the draft. The
fantasy.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Is that going to be? Are they going to start doing that in college?
Nah, probably not. They might.
Well, they already do have
Or are you gonna let a sports bet on high school basketball now?
They already do.
Yeah, they got a
Yeah,
spread.
but it's just with the because do you now
How do you
see
pay
players?
high school players though?
Do you now? Well, here, just in college right now, do you now see college players staying in college?
Yeah, because
For a much they're going to go for, because they're probably making more money rather than if they were to go into the NFL.
And we were talking about the reaction to losses. It actually is magnified a little more now because they're getting paid. And
Sure.
now you're held to a different standard. In my opinion, it's like, I mean, we've worked or been a part of or around local government. We're scrutinized every single day for every little thing. You're getting paid now. It's not, they're kids anymore. It's like, no, they're professional athletes.
They are.
He made $3 million this year.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you some kind of tuition or some kind of Gator booster or somebody neglected to fund some type of research to pay the athletic department. So somebody's paying for this, whether you like it or not. Like, and we just said it the other day, like some tuition probably goes into it. Who knows? But I mean, as a student, I don't really care. Like, it is what it is.
But still, it changes everything.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, if it does go into the...
There is a little more expectations there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you ever work with athletes on campus or anything, or no?
No, I didn't work with him. I haven't had school with him and stuff. And I understand. I do get it. My brother played smaller college football, and
He's a quarterback,
he's a coach.
wasn't he?
Yeah, my brother's a quarterback, and he's a coach now. He's a high school coach in Texas.
Cool.
But no, you can't get a job. You don't have time, So I do understand that, but I also don't want to devalue the value of an education. And so I get it. Pay him all you want, but if I wanted to go get sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings,
If you're listening,
I could do that as a student. They would have never said anything to me if I was just a normal student and hey, they want to endorse me. They wouldn't have said anything. But because because a player wants to do it, they can't. So I get the NIL. Absolutely, I agree with it 100%. If you want to make money off your name,
Sure.
you're your own business.
I mean, the phone changed everything, right?
Exactly.
Just the
Yeah.
likeliness. Is that what
now,
it is?
if it's
You're
coming
just
from
trying
the
to get-
university, that's kind of where I was like, okay, that's a little different. When you're robbing Peter to pay Paul or stealing resources from something else, like, because you said you got the other half of the house creating the ventilator during COVID, like they need money too,
Sure.
Shoot, somebody just did surgery on my dog in Texas, and he went to UF, and he was a UF vet, and he worked there.
Oh, that's
and,
cool.
And he left because of lack of funding. He's like, yeah,
Wow.
it just wasn't. We weren't getting the resources we needed, and you're like, what?
Interesting.
Not the big game in town.
So it's just a matter of where it's coming from. If it's coming from NIL, and go by all means, make your money, dude.
I think, what was it, Ryan? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you a quick question, but
Go ahead.
I'm changing subjects.
No,
so
go ahead.
What, I'm being dead serious here because I really want an honest answer from you. What are the odds that Buffalo Wild Wings actually sponsors this show? Like, be real with me.
We got to get on Twitter and really start at.
But what are the odds, like, right now?
Is there a Buffalo Wild Wings here in...
There's one in town.
There's one in town.
Yeah, that's easy.
I think I could...
That's
I
easy.
think the percentage will climb if we go over there sometime.
Well,
Or gotta
but
get their
just
little
from them
fake logo
listening
right
to it,
there.
you
Oh,
don't
just
think
from
it's
them.
gonna
Well,
happen.
that's why I'm going to get the... I'm going to
my-
get the tape.
Yeah.
Not the tape, CD.
Well, you just got to give them an
DVD.
exposure package. Like,
Well, my point is this. My show can't be bought. I think their wings are small and overpriced.
could be supplemented, maybe.
You think I'm still getting a deal?
No.
I just killed that.
I think you killed it,
Maybe.
buddy.
But my wife's a huge fan, and they have the little mini dogs that are good with the French fries that sometimes are dry.
Sometimes.
Sorry.
Sometimes. There's a standard.
Buffalo Wild Wings, I was just totally joking. It's April Fools.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, go ahead, Damon. You were saying something. You were wrapping things up.
Players making money.
Yeah, players making money. I forgot. Yeah.
Well, you talk about NIL in high school, and you know what?
Well, it changes everything.
Well, you know what's going to change everything is Congress is getting involved with all of it now.
Ew.
Yeah, and so I heard someone talking about it. They're like, "Well, shouldn't the NCAA take over that?" And the person said, "Well, the NCAA doesn't have the capacity to run it and handle it. So Congress is going to get in and do their stuff." And you know what? If anything really good does come out of this whole thing, and what is scary, if you're telling me NIL, you're going to pay players, kids in high school, well, at least they'll get a lesson on taxes.
Yep.
Early, right?
Yeah.
They're going to get a lesson on money and how maybe someone can rob you and take advantage of you early, and then hopefully when you get older, it's a lesson learned. I don't know.
The Gator player, Dexter, he signed an NIL deal, and it basically stated that the company was going to take like 20% of his earnings for his career. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I heard about
and
that.
so he took
Yeah.
an upfront payment. Now he took an upfront payment, and part of the deal was like, I'll give you
percentages.
a percentage of equity.
of
And so
his,
he's suing. He's suing.
salaries.
They're in a lawsuit right now.
This is going to keep on happening.
Yeah.
Did you see where is it?
I saw that.
It was 20%.
Yeah, 20%. And I know.
And then you drafted by the Bears.
They're doing that too with minor league baseball players.
Yeah.
So because, MLB with the minors.
They're not paying.
Nothing. But there's an organization out there that will
that's why
pay these minor league players,
Yep.
give them millions. However, once they sign a big league contract,
they get that back.
Wow.
a percentage of that money of their whatever that big league contract may be, they have to pay that organization.
I don't feel bad for the player though.
No.
If you sign that and that's the deal, that's the deal.
But it's
Yeah.
two deals you're signing. You're signing one with the team,
Yep.
and you're signing a deal with this kind of this
yeah.
agency, and they'll give you, and but it's a gamble. Like this agency's gambling on you,
Yeah.
making sure you don't get injured, making sure that you produce in the minors, and let alone once you're done in the minors, you got to produce in the pros too,
Yeah.
in the big leagues.
It's just if it's transparent. I think Gervon Dexter, who was, I don't know if he said it wasn't as transparent as they hid it in the contract somewhere,
Well, that's the important of NIL people to
Yeah.
really educate these athletes on what you're getting involved with.
Exactly. I don't think Florida had the representation for the players' side, but the agency did because they knew what they were doing. So
Well, we had Ryan Dunn at the chamber.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that one.
Okay, well, he came in. The way I gathered from it is the NIL gets all this money, and I could be wrong. I'm just saying what I gathered from it. They get money from the boosters and et cetera. That this,
that's if it's run through the university.
They're the ones who get all the money for the athletes.
Yeah.
And then the athletes will have to go
Yes.
and do some kind of community service or things like that.
Yep.
And depending on their likeliness, right?
Yep.
And that's how much money they get.
So that's what I see the Gators are doing. They're creating the Gator Collective or the Gator Standard, where they're getting money from boosters, and they have one pot of money that they're divvying up based on recruits.
That's it. That's what.
Separate from, hey, my name's Kool-Aid, like the guy from Alabama.
Yeah.
He's getting sponsored by Kool-Aid directly.
Yeah.
So you can do both. But I think that's what the University of Florida try to regulate it and control it and help with these athletes. So that way they can make sure they don't get ripped off or control the recruiting. Like, hey, we have this much money in a pot to give players. And then it's whether it's businesses and it's like,
So this is something that's going to continuously evolve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not
There's no perfect.
You got to go to Applebee's and make a few appearances here, and that's part of what your deal is.
Well,
But also Florida has to do that in general. They have to bring their few players and their cheerleaders and to Ford or to the airport or you name it.
I wonder if
Interesting.
I wonder if the players that aren't getting the NIL deals create a union and go, we're not going to play because you 12 players that are making millions of dollars, you kind of need us.
Usually unions aren't so successful in the South, though.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But it could.
Not here, but it could happen.
Could collude.
It could be. Could do something.
The players' union in baseball, they're tough.
Well, you were talking about baseball players and
MLB.
stuff, and that's why these semi-pro leagues are getting more prominent.
Yeah.
Because they're actually paying the players. They're like, hey, MLB, you can still get exposure here.
Like the Savannah Bananas.
Oof.
Oh, I love that. I want to go so badly.
Yeah,
They've already outgrown
their stadium.
They're playing a Minute Maid now.
Yeah.
They are? Yeah, they were at a smaller venue in Sugarland, and now they've outgrown that venue. They're playing at Minute Maid.
They're hilarious.
That's pretty cool.
That's a great show.
Banana Ball is really cool. You seen the rules?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something different.
No, the Savannah Bananas.
Savannah Bananas, but it's the baseball team, the fun baseball.
What do you mean the
team.
rules? So there's actually a real game happening too?
Banana Ball, yeah. There's rules.
I'm sure
if the opponent hits a foul ball into the stands and a fan catches it, it's an out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then I believe like banana balls is really cool. Look it up. In extra innings, it's just a batter and a pitcher. And if the batter gets a hit, the pitcher has to run and field it and beat them home.
Oh no,
yeah,
that's cool.
They have they play their serious competition, but they also have the Harlem Globetrotters type banana ball. But yes, if a fan catches the ball, it's an out.
I mean, it's considered semi-pro ball.
Yes, but
that's what it is. I mean, these
banana ball and non-banana ball.
You know who I would?
I'd like to go to one of their games.
They're cool.
You know who the best is? The umpire.
Oh, he's great, isn't he? The little dude out there.
Oh yeah,
he dances.
And stuff.
Yeah.
But now they're getting into extra teams now. They have a couple of teams.
That's cool.
They're growing.
That's cool. I would go to it all day long.
Yeah.
I saw the guy in stilts.
Yeah. Jumping on the trampoline, throwing a pitch. You saw that one?
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
stupid.
Guy gets
It's
up the bat.
stupid
And his bat's on fire.
It's like Kent Murphy. Dive for every ball. Just make it fun. But
they tried that
what
years
families want
ago.
to do. They want
Yes.
entertainment. They want affordable entertainment food, where you can bring a family of 4 without spending $400 in 10 hours.
And that's where a lot of these events, we were talking about college and stuff and being there, they fill every half inning in between innings or quarter with something fun, something you can do. Here's the kiss cam, and here's this, and here's that, and text this, and text that. Well, it's this age right here. It's this group where you have to keep your phone, and oh, that's funny. And you keep going. I do Instagram Reels. I think they're funny.
Yeah.
And actually, social media is like the number one or close to number one source of news for everybody.
Yeah.
It's just constant. You get information quickly. I don't know if we need it all that fast.
It's at your fingertips, whatever you want to know.
It is. Well, last thing I got to say, because we have to wrap this up because I'm Buffalo Wild Wings won't do a contract. You got a flip phone?
Yeah.
It's that full screen thing. You like it or no?
I love it.
It's got like a crease in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Who makes it? We're going to get sponsored.
Love it, man.
Who makes
It's a
that?
Pixel.
Google.
Google
yeah.
Pixel.
So Google, if you're listening to this.
It's Samsung.
That's a tough
Android.
pull.
Yeah,
Android,
it is. Android, Samsung, and Nike, if you're listening. We want to
There's
work on this.
Samsung right there.
Yeah, Samsung.
You didn't know that, huh? I hope it didn't catch on fire. Or was that the Android?
I think it was a Samsung, wasn't it? Or
Says it right here.
blowing up.
I don't.
No,
The
seriously, be
batteries,
careful.
all this stuff.
You can't take that to an airport.
Yeah.
So you have
Man,
Samsung?
the Met. There's the legend right
That's
there.
awesome. That's awesome.
I do have to take this.
I know,
This is the
Goose.
third time.
Goose, Damon. I'm messing with you. Thank y'all for coming on. I enjoyed it.
Appreciate
buddy.
it.
See
Love
y'all.
you, bud. Yep.